Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that, this is a tough one. The game that teaches us that, fuck, I can't think of anything, and why is my microphone doing this? Let me just, turn down sensitivity, and turn it back up. Anyways, let's just hop right in. That Shoichi would rather distract himself from his problems. There we go. We spend quite a while immersed in the new game, slowly trudging through the opening sequence as the eerie atmosphere starts establishing itself. Soon we find ourselves having to run away from abominations armed with nothing but a flashlight and a bunch of hiding places spread around the map. Shit! He found me! Run! Run, 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 run! Shoichi tries running out of the dumpster he'd been hiding in, but is swarmed by a group of enemies and slaughtered before he has a chance to get very far. This game certainly isn't afraid to get graphical either. So much for that. How many was that now? 3? 5? Ugh. I think I'm done for now. Sure. Is there any other game you want to play? I think I'm done with games. Using the controller, Shoichi shuts off the entertainment system and the television. What do you want to do then? Well... Oh, hiya. He leans closer to me, wrapping his arms around me and pulling me up, placing me down on top of his lap, his arms around my waist and his chin resting on the back of my shoulder. You said Aki-kun isn't home, right? Yeah, I did. Is he suggesting... Can I just hold you like this for a bit? Oh. He just meant cuddling. Yeah, of course you can. Thanks. Shoichi's left hand slowly rubs my stomach, the sensation very tender and pleasant. He nuzzles my neck with his cheek, obviously seeming very pleased with this situation. I do have to admit that it's really nice. I still feel a bit self-conscious, but I really like it. Okay. You're really soft, you know. Holding you like this is so comfortable. Thank you. It does feel nice, although aren't I a bit heavy for you? Nah, you're deceptively light. Here. Shoichi tightens his hold around me and starts bouncing me up on his leg with very little effort. What are you doing? See? I told you you're really light. No. This just now. There's no way that was totally innocent. You really shouldn't do that out of nowhere. It's really bad for my heart. Oh, sorry, I didn't think you'd mind. After what he pulled during the festival, I don't believe for even a second that he didn't mean anything by it. It almost felt like he was bouncing me on his... Nope! No, no, no! Bad thoughts! Go away! This really isn't good for my heart. You okay? You seem a bit out of it. Yeah, I'm fine. I can't let him know that I'm feeling embarrassed. I lean back a bit, increasing the contact between my back and his chest, moving a hand down to caress his arm. Oh, I take back what I said. You seem to be pretty into it. There's nothing wrong with indulging myself every now and then. Besides, you're plenty soft yourself too. Haha, is that so? You can use me as a pillow if you like. By the way, you smell really nice. Shoichi takes a few sniffs with his face on my neck, lightly kissing me. That's kind of a weird thing to say. Is that so? I'm still new to this, so please let it slide this time. Let it slide? You don't seem to be upset about the faux pas. Why should I? Is that how it's going to be? Do I need to utter 1,000 apologies to make up for it? Nah, just 500 will suffice. Just 500? My, you're feeling so generous today. Shoichi hugs me tighter. Somehow it feels like we're just joking around like we always did, except in a more intimate way. This sort of thing doesn't bother me in the slightest. Is that weird? Yes, I am a generous god after all. A god? Someone's self-confidence seems to be soaring today. I know of my charms. Shoichi snorts, patting me atop the head with a smile. Yes, you are my Prince Charming after all. Does that mean you are the princess? Nope, I'm the even more charming king that seduces the prince. Boy, what kind of fairy tales did your parents read to you as a child? This is nice. What is? This. Us. Things seem to be going really well between us and all. I get that we only just started dating, but... I don't know. It's surprisingly low stress. Maybe because no one knows yet? That could be it. Oh, about that. I suggest you hold that thought. Huh? Why? Saya-chan messaged me recently. She told me she talked to you about it and you confirmed it. She's all excited and congratulating me and whatnot. It was amusing. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Everything that happened after distracted me so much. It's okay. Besides, Saya-chan already knew I liked you for a long time, and she's really perceptive. It was a matter of time. And I couldn't imagine us hiding it from our friends if things went well, so... So you're not mad I told her? Not at all! If anything, it makes me happy because it means you were comfortable enough with us to confirm when she asked. Oh, really? Man, that's a relief. I was worried you'd be upset I didn't consult you. Well, it'd be nice to have been asked, but I won't complain too much because I like the end result. You could keep it in mind, maybe? Oof. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. You don't need to worry too much, though. I'm not upset. Right. Why does it feel like even when I do something right, I find a way to mess it up? I'm serious, you. Don't sound so guilty. I really don't mind. I mean, it's Saya, for crying out loud. If there's a person in this world I trust implicitly to know about this, it's her. You know, I've always wondered this, but... Aren't you and Saya, like, ridiculously close? It always seemed like you two had secrets of your own that no one else knew about. Even me. Yeah. And? And isn't that a bit weird? Why? We all have our own dynamics. You, Sai-chan, and I might all be childhood friends, but we all have our own individual relationships outside of our trio. It's not like you and I don't have a kind of relationship full of secrets that Sai-chan isn't part of, even before we started dating. Oh. I guess that's true. You worry about the smallest things sometimes, I swear. I can't help it. My brain isn't always my friend. Besides, this whole thing is totally new to me. I'm still coming to terms with it. Hey, Shoichi-kun, can I ask you a question? He squeezes me lightly and leans forward, his face almost side by side with mine. Sure. Also, should I be worried? You haven't called me Shoichi-kun since, hell, I can't even remember when the last time was. Alright, sorry. I don't know why I called you that all of a sudden. Are you okay? Well, I have a doubt of sorts. Like, what do you call yourself? What do I... Shoichi? No, I didn't mean it like that. More like, well, your sexuality. What do you call that? That? Why does the label even matter? Just humor me, please. I call myself gay. Isn't that pretty obvious by now? So, you only like men? I suppose. You suppose? Well, I've never really had feelings for any guys other than you. As far as I know, I'm not attracted to women, but I don't have much experience with that sort of thing. Unless you're asking me what kind of porn Whoa, no. I don't need to know that. Sheesh, calm down. You don't need to throw a fit. That's a bit too much information. You're the one who asked. I didn't ask about that! Does it bother you? Well, not really. You're... No, not that, you dumbass. I mean, your question about my sexuality. Does something about it bother you? Oh, right. Of course you meant that. Well, what am I thinking? How do I put that? Your sexuality doesn't bother me. I guess I'm just struggling with what to call myself. Do you even need to call yourself anything? Well, yeah, I can't just leave it up in the air. Really? So as long as you're with someone you really like, what does it matter? Unless you want to explain it to people, in that case the label definitely makes it easier. I just prefer to have things in black and white, okay? I like having everyone well defined. Shoichi's right hand goes up to my face. He cups my chin in it and gently moves my head so I'm looking to the side. He kisses my cheek, stroking my fur, nuzzling my neck. The gesture is so incredibly sweet, I can feel my face getting hot. That is... amazing. There you go. You don't need to worry so much. Go at your own pace and think things through properly. I know I sprang a lot on you since we first started dating, and there's a lot you need to adjust to. Thank you. I'm more just trying to figure this out for myself, though. Yeah. Well, what do you think? Are you bi? I don't know. I've never really felt attracted to any girl or to any of my exes. I just dated them because it was easier to say yes and go with the flow over dealing with the guilt of saying no. I sincerely hope that's not what you're doing to me. Of course it's not. I actually like you, you big lug. Aw, big lug. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I get the feeling I'm being mocked. Jokes aside, if that's how it is, then you might just be gay after all. You think so? I obviously can't know what you're thinking, so I can't give you any concrete answer. The only one who can do that is you. Boo! But it requires so much thinking, and thinking is so hard. Can't you do it for me? Stop whining so much. This isn't homework. You can't just pass the buck off to me. Oh, that would be so much easier, though. Never stop to think about it, but I'm so comfortable around Shoichi that I feel okay being a little more difficult when I'm around him. Alright, I'll stop for now. Oh, Oh, you're being surprisingly agreeable today. Yeah, you happen to have gotten me in a good mood. Sadly accurate. That is unfortunately very accurate. This is unfortunately very accurate. Like, is that so? As for me, I wasn't in a good mood, but you did a great job of getting me there. You're a really comfy pillow. I can't stay upset while I'm holding you. What am I, your teddy bear? I wish. I'd love to go to bed with you every night. Oh, what do you mean? What do I... Oh, wait, now that I think about it, I think that sounded wrong. You think? But I don't mind the wrong way either. What? Good to see where you stand on it, love. Too sickly sweet. Please don't call me that. I knew you'd react like that, but it was still funny. Besides, I'd be willing to give it a try. Oh, is that so? Glad to hear it. It's been really hard for me to hold back. Shoichi moves a hand down my inner thigh, stroking it slowly and teasingly. Huh? He leans forward, lightly nibbling on my left ear and whispering, just so you know, I've been holding back from touching you like I want to for years. Once I'm allowed to, I'll definitely partake of you. Unfortunately, Yoichi.exe has stopped working. If the issue persists, please contact Basket, the developer of Tennis Ace. We are currently collecting information about... I don't even know anymore. You sounded just like Jun-kun. You sound just like Jun-kun when you're flustered. Oh shit. Just as quickly as he began teasing me, he backs off, chuckling to himself. Mind shutting down, thoughts slowing to a stop. You're an ass. Oh, how so? Were you hoping I'd keep going? Of course not! Don't be ridiculous! Is that so? Out of nowhere, I feel Shoichi's hand cupping and lightly squeezing my crotch. Makes the tent inside and... Ah! 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 It makes the tent inside twitch at the sudden touch. Ah! You sure about that? This guy here at least seems pretty happy. Shut up! I managed to snag myself such a cute boyfriend. I feel like I don't get taken seriously at all here. I'm not cute! That makes you sound so small. I could carry you around in my pocket. Hard pass. Aw, but that would be so cute. You could be like my little pocket boyfriend. Your weird ideas scare me sometimes. Weird? I thought it was a nice idea. Your sense of taste is truly unsettling sometimes. I think I'll pass, thank you very much. Aw, alright. At least I tried. By the way, I forgot to ask back during the festival, was Hitoka-chan truly okay with me stealing you for the dance? She made me promise to go out with her another time and give her all my attention. You're really going to have your hands full with that. Tell me about it. But it allowed me to dance with you, so it was worth it. You're so sappy. Sappy? Truly the greatest sap master. Now you're just mocking me. Who, me? I would never. You can't pull off an innocent act. You're way too smug. Shoichi kisses my neck again, putting a hand on my chest and squeezing me. Hey you, have you liked dating me so far? That's kind of sudden. Where did that come from? Just humor me. And you complained when that was my sole reasoning for asking a question. Yeah, I have. It's been way easier to transition our relationship into that than I thought it'd be. Of course, sometimes it hits me that we're dating now, and I have a, whoa, this is so surreal moment. But other than that, things have been really smooth. But we haven't done much either yet. Haven't done much, eh? Does that mean we should do more? What? He squeezes my crotch another time, making me jump. You're so cute. Don't just do that out of the blue. Oh, so it's okay if I ask first? That's not what I said. Are you horny or something? I'm not, but I can be if you want. Just keep bouncing on my lap like that. You're a pervert. Says the guy that's definitely had way more sex in his life than I had. Well, sure, any number higher than 0 is already way more times. Ouch! That's kind of a mean thing to say. You were asking for it. Don't dish it out if you can't take it back. Aye, aye, Captain. Shoichi seems to want to take the lead in our relationship. While I'm not really opposed to it since he's much surer of himself than I am considering our circumstances, I'm definitely not just going to roll over and take it. That sounded wrong. So, what should we do now? What do you mean? Well, you're spending the night over, right? We're obviously not going to just sit around the entire time, so what should we do? Oh, but I'm liking sitting like this. Come on, it might not be that heavy, but I refuse to believe you can handle me sitting on you for so long without any pain or discomfort. Just a slightly reduced circulation to my legs, but I don't mind. I do! I slide off of his lap and back to the couch, pulling away from his arms that try to clutch me close. Aww. We can cuddle some more later if you want. I'm not saying to stop forever. Alright. You're way too easy to please. Maybe we could play something or watch a movie? Didn't you say Aki-kun is having a movie marathon with his friends? Maybe we should have one of our own. Sure, the idea is good, but what kind of movie would we marathon? I don't really have any ideas. What do you think? Me? Aren't you the one always complaining that I'm indecisive? That makes this a great opportunity to practice. Since when is that? Ugh, never mind. Can I just suggest a genre and we'll see what's available in Slipstream? If I have to come up with specific titles, this will take a while. Sure, we can just go by the highest rated movies in the chosen genre. That definitely makes it way easier. Okay, what kind of movie do we want to watch? Do we want to watch a horror, a comedy, an action, or a drama? Oh no! Your poor salad. It's traumatized. Oh no. How about drama? Isn't every movie technically a drama? I don't think so. Besides, I mean the genre. There's a genre called drama? Yeah, there is. See? I switched to that category and a list of movies pop up, organized from the highest to lowest rated. Whoa, these were all romance flicks. Didn't know those were your type. They're not all about romance. Maybe not all, but the overwhelming majority certainly are. Look at those titles. Crazy in Love, The Price of Losing You, My Life Without You, Lonely Together. Oh my god, I heard about that. I heard about that. Alright. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Inside Out 2. But no, that's actually pretty cool. Alright, I get your point. Stop quoting movie titles already. Jesus, who even came up with these? They really do sound bad. Let's just pick and choose from the ones that aren't going to be sappy romantic stuff. No, you mean you don't want to watch some sappy romance with your boyfriend? Wouldn't be caught dead doing it. Oh, ouch. Rough. That's me in a nutshell, yeah. Well, we can certainly try rough. I have a feeling he just took that joke someplace horrible. A few hours later. Man, I didn't think these would be so gut-wrenching. The first movie we watched was about a man having to survive after getting lost in the wilds with his dog, only to have to put him down once the dog gets bitten, saving him from a snake. The second one was about the lives of doctors working in a children's cancer ward. And now this one is about two twin brothers separated at birth getting reunited when one of them is dying and needs to find a compatible blood marrow donor. And so far, it doesn't seem the sick brother is going to make it. Shoichi is quietly sniffling right next to me. For someone who mocked the genre so much before, he sure seems to be emotional over it. After a final moving speech in which the sick brother talks about how getting to know his sibling in his last months of life was everything, and how he always felt like something was missing, the man passes on. The movie shows how the surviving brother copes with life afterwards and how he sets himself straight from a life of drug abuse to become a well-adjusted father and husband to his ex-wife. He looks at a picture of him standing next to his brother on his hospital bed with both smiling, and it cuts to the credits. Oh man, that was more than I bargained for. Yeah. You really are a crybaby. I'm not crying! You sure about that? Sure looks like you are. Those two only had each other! They didn't. The whole point of the movie was that they didn't. But alright. What should we do now? We're in such a rush to decide everything. We don't get to do this often. I just want us to optimize our time so we can do as many things together as we can. Optimize our time? Dude, you don't need to be so robotic about it. What happened to just going with the flow and having fun? Going with the flow? I wasn't aware I was dating a hippie. Pfft, I'm quite a few decades too late and in the wrong continent for that. Fair enough. What time is it now anyway? Shoichi pulls his phone out of his pocket to check, making a beep as the screen comes to life. Oh wow, it's already 6:30 p.m. Really? Time went by really fast. Time always goes by really fast when I'm with you, but yeah, today especially. Flatterer. Should we think of what we're going to do for dinner plans? I can cook for us if you'd like. No. I was thinking of going out to buy something. That'd be a bit of a waste of money, though, wouldn't it? I mean, we already have ingredients at hand anyway. No! Bad dog. Bad. Yeah, but I wanted to spend my time having fun with you. Not with cooking. Oh, that's really sweet. I guess it's a good point. Safe! In that case, what should we get? We can just get a lunchbox from the grocery store each. Sure, but there are a lot of options. Which one do we pick? You're getting a bit ahead of yourself. Let's go to the store and see what they have first before we decide. That makes sense. The fact that he thinks he's a good cook is nothing short of terrifying. Also, hiya. Ah! The neighborhood store is mostly empty by the time we get there. There seem to be a few ominous clouds in the sky which might have contributed to leaving the place deserted. It looks like we might have rain any minute now. Did the weather forecast say anything about it? Not to my knowledge, but then again, I didn't check today. My, the always organized Shoichi didn't bother checking all the variables before leaving the house. How can you ever relax like this? Aren't you hilarious? Ha ha, I'm dying of laughter here. We walk to the food aisle and take a look at our options here. If there's one thing I always liked about this store, is just how varied their selection is. Sushi, curry, stew, tonkatsu, karage, fish, so many things to choose from. You have any idea what you're gonna get? How about we leave me for later and try to focus on what you want first? Bigger boys need food more, right? Translation. You have no idea what you want. Shut up. I think we're gonna get tonkatsu with curry and rice. Talk about a bog standard dinner. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. What about you, Mr. Bog Standard? What kind of magic innovation are you going to pick for your dinner? Well, you have no clue, do you? No, it's not that. I just wanted you to pick for me to see if you know me well. Seriously? That's the best excuse you could come with? I'm trying, okay? Alright, I'll choose for you, and no matter what I pick, you have to eat. Well, wait, I didn't mean... Here you go. Squid tempura with rice and sausages. Can't I have something a little more traditional? Nah, of course not. Only the best for you, my dear. But you know I don't like squid. Oh no. Shoichi? Yes? Can I please have something else? I don't know. Can you? Desire to cause harm? Increasing. Pretty please? Well, of course you can. It's not like I control you or anything. You can do whatever you want. Wow! Then what was this whole little show for? Jeez, you don't have to look so miffed. I was just joking. I'm just going to grab the same thing as you and we can be on our way. The rain started to pour while we were at the cash register. By the time we reached home, the rain had gotten stronger and thunder began striking, to the point I became comfortable enough to call this a storm. Sheesh, that came out of nowhere. I'm soaked. Shoichi pulls on the hem of his shirt, which is thoroughly stuck to his stomach. The shirt lifts, exposing his wet stomach and the muscles underneath. I have to admit that the movement catches my attention and I can't help but stare for a bit. After a few seconds, I snap myself out of it and go back to functioning like normal. I think it'd be too much to hope that you brought some extra clothes, huh? I have some clothes I keep here at your place, remember? You do? Jesus, dude, every time I come over, I shower and get changed. Where do you think I get those clothes out of when I do that? Oh, or I thought maybe you brought them with you in a bag or something. Are you asking me or telling me that? You really need to think things over a little bit more. Well, sorry, I don't pay much attention. Anyway, we should go dry ourselves before we eat dinner. Shoichi walks up the stairs, presumably to go grab a towel upstairs. I don't trust it. I do not trust it. I do not trust it at all. I do not trust it. I decided to follow behind him. Okay. Alright, I finished drying myself. That took a while. Your fur really takes that long to dry? It wasn't that long. Well, I had enough time to dry myself, get changed, transfer the food to different containers, and reheat it. Okay. We just brought it over from the store. You didn't need to reheat. It was rained on. That cooled it down a lot. Plus, I wanted to transfer it to a different container so water didn't get inside. You're so fussy sometimes. Look who's talking. Come on, let's eat. Wow, this food is steaming hot. I did tell you I reheated it. Sure, but some people might consider it a tad too hot. It could burn their mouths. You know what I call those people? What? Weaklings! Really? Saiton doesn't like food that's too hot. Maybe I should tell her you called her a weakling. What? I didn't. Give me a sec. I'll text her right now. Shoichi grabs his phone and begins typing on it. I nearly lunged at him in a panic. No! God, relax. I'm just joking. Look, I'm typing into a notes app. Of course I'm not going to text her that. How should I know? You've done this kind of thing before. True, but not when unprovoked. Provoking you is about as easy as enticing a bear with a jar of honey. I definitely shouldn't say something like that whenever Kumagawa is around. Just eat. Yes, honey. Please don't call me stuff like that. Fine, fine. I just find your reaction too funny when I do. Is this bullying? This feels like bullying. Shoichi grabs his chopsticks and picks up a piece of his tonkatsu. Man, grocery store dinners are better than they have the right to be. The tonkatsu is a bit soggy, though. I'd prefer it if it were crisper. You can't keep it in a closed container for a long time with a bunch of steam and sauce inside and keep it crispy. I know, but I can still have my own preferences. Well, sure. I'd prefer if a genie came out when I open the box, but that doesn't make it realistic. You don't have to modify what I say to absurd degrees just to disagree with me. I don't have to, but I like to. Just eat your food and shut up. Yes, Mr. Sunshine. Are you actually trying to get a rise out of me? Me? Why would I? I just like teasing you. You're way too cute when you're annoyed. Yeah, that's allowed. Oh no! Please stop trying to annoy me for your own amusement. Aw, do I really have to? Puppy dog eyes are not going to work. I have a younger brother. Oh yeah, that's true. Boo, I just wanted to have some fun. You seem to be awfully chipper right now. It's stark contrast to how your mood was earlier today. Yeah, you did wonders for my mood. Thanks, you. You're welcome. Aw, is someone blushing? Eat your food! No, it was the word horn dogs. Horn dogs triggered automod. Just then, another thunderclap echoes. The air around us feels like it even rumbled a bit. The lights begin to flicker alongside it, and the two of us look around us. Wow, that was a pretty big one. Flickering lights are a bad sign. Maybe we should finish eating and go and plug stuff from the wall to make sure nothing crazy happens. Man, we had a typhoon not too long ago, and now this? It's summer, for crying out loud. Looks like the weather goblins are laughing at your summer. Weather goblins? Really? Of course! What, are you adept to the weather fairies theory? You're a dork. Look who's talking. The rain seems to only get stronger while we continue our meal. By the time we finish, there's wind howling outside and the water hitting the windows sound like a bunch of rocks. Those must be some really big water droplets. Should I unplug the fridge? That would probably be a good... Suddenly, the lights flicker another time and go completely out. Well, what the hell? Well, at least now you don't have to worry about unplugging your stuff. Sure, just keep it plugged to the wall through a bunch of power surges and whatnot. Sounds totally safe. We finish unplugging everything using our phones as flashlights. The lights remain out the entire time, giving no signs of coming back to life. Hey you, I have to admit I can't see much from the window, but it looks like the other houses have no power either. That's not good. June lives nearby. I'll try messaging him to see if the light went out there too. Good idea. I type a quick message and continue walking around the house, checking the windows to make sure there's no water leaking inside. I think I'm going to go upstairs and make sure Aki or my mom didn't leave their windows open just to be safe. Do you mind if I wait for you in your room? We already finished checking down here anyway. I don't mind, but is there any reason why you want to go in there? Nah, just like your room better than your living room. It's cozier. Plus it smells of you, which is nice. What? Don't say stuff like that. It's embarrassing. Alright, sorry. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Alright, no windows left open and no obvious leakages detected. Guess I can relax for a bit and just wait for the power to come back. June even messaged me back while I was checking. June, so it wasn't just here? I'm glad. We were freaking out a bit thinking our power was out. I'm a bit worried why his power would be cut, but I'm not going to ask. I don't think you'd take too kindly to me prying about it. Shoichi in here? Yeah, no, Soleo Tales of a New Dawn fucking... Diego and the pizza box. That is all you need to know. Diego and the fucking pizza box. Boo! Shoichi jumps up from behind me and grabs me by my waist, lifting me into the air and spinning me around. I got you! You're mine now! Shoichi, what are you doing? I'm just having a bit of harmless fun. Aww. He places me back on the ground and flips me around gently, landing a kiss on my lips. Jesus, that's not good for my heart. I'm just trying to be spontaneous. Yeah, well, you being spontaneous isn't good for my heart. Aw, sorry. I give him a quick kiss and turn around, walking up to my desk and taking a seat on the edge. Is everything in order? Yep, the house is fine. Not going to come down on our heads at least. Did you get an answer from Jun-kun? He said the power is out there as well. Fuck, it froze. Fuck. Oof, that's not good. I tried asking Hitoka, but she and Mom don't live in the neighborhood, and she said the power is fine there. It's probably just a power line that got cut or something. Shouldn't take too long to restore it to normal. Sure, we just have to figure out what to do until then. We can just talk. We could cuddle. That too. It was, though. It was. You don't sound very enthusiastic about it. This kind of thing's still a bit embarrassing for me, that's all. Okay. Shoichi walks closer to me, taking a seat by my side and placing a hand on my knee. So I'm going to ask. It's been a bit over a week since we started dating and, well, things have been going pretty well between us. At least for me. Where do you stand on it? Honestly, I'm shocked by how well things have been. Really? I can only make out very few details of Shoichi's expression due to the darkness. His dark fur is not helping any, but I can tell from his voice that he's smiling widely right now. Well, from his voice and the fact that there's a helicopter fan spinning around beside me. Yeah, sometimes we get a bit more intimate. Sometimes when we get a bit more intimate, I have a moment where I go, whoa, 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 what am I doing with Shoichi? But then that instinct goes away and I just feel comfortable. So you don't feel like things have been going too fast? I haven't upset you or anything? Not at all. I'm pretty happy with how things have been going. To be honest, I'm pretty sure by now that I do like you like that. Still a bit weird to admit that I have feelings for a guy, and you especially, but there's no way I can deny it anymore. You have no idea how happy that makes me. He wraps his arms around me, pulling me closer to him in a tight hug and burying my head in his shoulder. It's the same here, big guy. Shoichi kisses my forehead and pulls away from me, grabbing my hand on the top of my leg and squeezing it. Were you really afraid that you had made me uncomfortable? Well, I've never been in a relationship before, so I don't know how to handle things. I might have been a bit aggressive at times. You mean horny? I don't know if I'd call it that. I'd definitely call it that. Fine, call it whatever you want. I was just a bit worried that it was too much is all. Well, the first time definitely was, but I've been getting more comfortable with it. It still makes me embarrassed, but I don't really mind. Yeah, there is that. Yeah, Soleo Tales of a New Dawn actually has a web build that you can play. You mean that? Yeah? Why? Shoichi pulls me closer to him, leaning next to my ear and whispering to me. Well, I have to admit, it's been hard for me to hold back, and I was kind of hoping we could go further today. Is that alright with you? Further? You mean... You know what I mean. Sex. He nods. His face is surprisingly neutral right now. I'm just going to hide the entire fucking screen. I'm just going to dead-ass hide the entire screen. I'm surprised he can keep a straight face while saying that. My face feels so hot right now, I'm sure he could cook an egg on my forehead. I'm not going to do anything you don't want me to do. If you say no, then I'll drop it. I was just hoping. Oh, man. This would be a really big step. Am I ready for something like that? Okay, do we actually have like a... In the preferences menu, we do not have a thing Am I ready for something like that? It's not like it'd be my first time. Hell, when I think about it, I have enough experience that I shouldn't bat an eye at it. But because it's a man and Shoichi, I suddenly feel very vulnerable. Not that I mind that feeling, and I know I can trust Shoichi with anything, and know he'd never do anything to hurt me. Well, we're both guys, so how'd that even work? You want me to explain gay sex to you? It's already taking everything I have to stay calm right now. If I had to explain... No, it's fine. I think I can pretty much guess. It's not like it's rocket science. I don't know why I even asked. So, you're nervous too? It doesn't look like that. Of course I'm nervous! Look what I'm asking you. No matter what answer you give me, it's still going to be nerve-wracking. My heart is racing here. For some reason, that thought comforts me. I want to try. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down my racing heart. I shouldn't be so nervous. I'm the one with experience here. I should be the one trying to make him comfortable. No, there's no chance of that happening. I can't calm down at all. I want to try. I'm just really nervous, so I don't know if I can do things properly. It's okay. Just let me lead. How are you going to lead? You've never done this before. True, but I've been prepared? That kind of sounds wrong to say. I'm afraid of what that preparedness of his means. Do you, you have lube, right? Yes, I do, and hearing you ask for it just sounds really awkward. Sorry. Okay. Doesn't seem that bad so far. Shoichi gets up from the desk, standing in front of me and leaning forward until he's face to face with me. I have to admit, I do like where I've got you. That's a really weird thing to say. Then I guess I'm just a weird person. Shoichi chuckles. He places a hand on my stomach and I freeze. Before we go any further, if at any moment you want me to stop, just say so and I will. Okay. Oh, and also, I love you. I know, I like you too. I'll take what I can get. Baby steps. God damn it! His smile is so handsome it's disarming. I want... Shoichi. Yeah? His voice comes out calm and deep. Even though he speaks in a half-whisper, I can feel it reverberating against me. Kiss me. He chuckles, placing a hand on top of mine and stroking the back of my hand with his thumb. Oh, never thought I'd see the day where you'd ask me that. Damn it! He's having way too much fun with me. Don't tease me, just kiss me! Before I can finish my sentence, he leans forward and gives me a quick peck on the lips, grinning widely. Like that? My heart is racing inside my chest, so much so that I fear it might end up bursting. Why is this so embarrassing? Shoichi is pushing my buttons and I don't even know how. I have a hard time understanding how I even ended up in this situation with Shoichi of all people. Silently, I nod, incapable of mustering words to answer his question. It's just too embarrassing. Your face is so red. It's adorable. Shut up! Stop having so much fun at my expense. He laughs again, nuzzling my chin. Sorry. It's just not possible. He kisses me again. My eyes instinctively close as he leans in, and I feel his cold nose bumping against mine, and then the wetness of his lips. Shoichi's lips linger for a moment, almost frozen in place. Then he begins to gently nibble on my lower lip, and it's like a shock runs all the way down from my lips to the base of my spine. His hand digs under my shirt, touching the bare fur underneath and slowly making its way up. The feeling of his hand exploring me is exhilarating. At this point, my brain has already stopped functioning properly. I just give myself over to the situation, focused only on enjoying the sensations. Once he pulls away, he stares up at me with a lustful smile. It's a look I've never seen on him before, almost like he were measuring me up. At first glance, his smile is kind and gentle, but on a closer look, it makes me shiver because I suddenly feel like I'm prey. I realize only now that he's got me right under his thumb. Hey, you? Yeah? My voice fails, coming out hoarse and breaking a little. He caught me by surprise when his hand went even higher than my stomach, pulling my shirt up all the way to my chest and leaving me half exposed. That only seems to amuse him even more. May I have you? Oh god. That is one of the dorkiest things I've ever heard. But with the mood I'm in, for some reason, it is really effective. I nod. Shoichi's hand travels downwards, and he grabs my zipper. Oh my god! Wow. 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 I'm gonna pull up some fucking eye bleach. We're gonna need some eye bleach for this. Just... Oh god, the sound effects. Oh god, the sound effects. Ah! 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 Fuck, my arm's tired. I've been spamming the space bar. Fuck, it's tired. Ah! Ah! Is it over? Is it over? I feel a sudden surge of affection for this big dumb dog. Try to get up from my seat to hug. Actually, would you mind staying there for a little bit? Oh no! What is it? I kind of feel exposed here. It's been embarrassing. Would it be okay for... what? No, you're embarrassed to say it. For us to... keep... Oh. Oh! I'm scared. I am very scared right now. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm back. ended. It just ended. Thank God. I feel like it needs to be said, like, okay. Like, I'm not asexual. I'm just, like, trying to, like, play it. I don't even know what I'm trying to do anymore. It's like, I don't know. It's just like this sort of content is definitely not allowed on Twitch, and yet we're playing it on Twitch. Sorry, I didn't mean to be that forceful. Wow. He settles himself next to me and adjusts both of us on the bed. Cannot wait for the liar update. He quickly covers himself up with a blanket as if he's still had any need to hide himself. I just wanted us to cuddle a bit. To be honest, I feel completely drained. Wow! Wow! Do you even have to ask? Of course it was. And I got to become one with you. Become one? That's a little cheesy. No, I, like, saw, like, the update is coming out in a couple days. On, like, Valentine's Day. Come on, that's a little cheesy. Really? I thought it'd be cute. Was what I was thinking of. Wow. No, that's really, really cheesy. Who the hell says that sort of thing out loud? Hey, you? Yeah? I love you. He scuttles up closer to me, kissing me on the lips. Thank you, I really like you too. You're really cute. One day I'm going to make you say that you love me back. Yeah. Yeah! This is really embarrassing. I'm starting to feel a little drowsy. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just really tired. I'll bet. We did exert ourselves a lot more than I thought we would. Sex is really tiring, huh? Wow! How can you say that say something like that with such an innocent smile on your face? It's weird to be so casual about this. Or maybe I'm the one who's weird. Maybe we should sleep for a little while? I know I don't want to get up from here. I just want to hold you and sleep. That sounds good. Shoichi huddles closer to me, wrapping his arms a little tighter around me. I close my eyes and nuzzle his neck, feeling his soft fur stroking my face as I do so. The sound of rain and Shoichi's peaceful breathing quickly lull me into a sleep. Okay, I'm just going to, like, take down that, but also bring up the horizontal sensor. I don't even try to resist as tendrils of drowsiness latch onto me. My chest feels like I might burst from happiness. June 4th. I move around in the bed quite a bit before finally waking up. For some reason, I just couldn't get comfortable during the night. I feel a desire to sleep in for a little longer. My recollections of the previous day's events come back to me slowly. As soon as I remember what Shoichi and I did, suffice to say my face feels quite hot right now. Wait, where is he even? Okay, he's in his underwear. We're good. And I look around a bit. I look around for a bit. My eyes finally resting on my dresser where I see him hunched over, looking at something. I see you find it. Ow, 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 ow. Shoichi turns around, shocked at my sudden crying out in pain. I try to sit up, and it came out of nowhere, sending a shiver up my spine and making the fur in my neck stand at attention. What's going on? Are you okay? I'm fine, just... My ass hurts. How am I even supposed to tell him something like that? Please don't look at me with those worried eyes. It's seriously hard to keep a secret when you look at me like that. It's nothing. I'm fine. Come on, you're hiding something from me, aren't you? Yes, but I promise it's nothing bad. I just rather not say. Rather not say. Oh! Shoichi's cheeks started getting redder and his eyes darted away from me. I guess even he's embarrassed by it. So, I see you discovered Yamato's tank. Huh? Yamato's tank. You were looking at it just now. Oh, yeah! Shoichi turns back around, staring at the cute little fish tank I have on top of my dresser. Yamato, the emerald-colored goldfish, swims around inside, as carefree as can be. The day after Shoichi gave him to me, I went to a pet store and bought the most spacious tank I could fit in my room. It's got rocks and algae inside, and the back of the tank is even covered with a printed film that makes it look like there are even more plants beyond the limit of the glass tank. It's kind of like a real-life green screen effect. There certainly is a lot of green inside there. He looks pretty happy. How would you tell? He's a fish. Call it a hunch. Shoichi leans forward again, staring into the tank. Gotta admit, it does give me a pretty nice view of his backside, what with him wearing nothing but a pair of tight-fitting boxer briefs. He waves at Yamato, who continues to swim lazily by. If he notices Shoichi at all, he doesn't seem to show it. But then again, he is just a fish. Fish swim. That's about it. I mean, what else do you expect him to do? Wave? This is the first time you've seen Yamato's tank, isn't it? Yeah, even in the times when I came over, I haven't really gone into your room since I gave him to you, so I guess it's to be expected. And last night, I didn't even notice him with the lights out. It is a pretty nice little tank you got for him. Do you keep the filter connected to that little hose around the back? Yep. Oh, wait, did Aki ever say anything about Yamato? He never told me his reaction. Aki helps me take care of him every now and again. He's really meticulous, too. He printed a chronogram of feeding times and taped it to the side of the tank. I knew it. There's no way you'd have been careful enough to plan this out yourself. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Speaking of Aki, I messaged him last night to ask if everything was okay over at his friend's house, and he hasn't answered me yet. See, my eyes are gigantic because of Shoichi's titties. Solely because of his massive man boobies. Makes sense. He was spending the night at a friend's house. I doubt he'd be checking his phone very much during it. I know, it just worries me. All Aki has to do is breathe and you'll already be worried about the quality of the oxygen. That's not true. I'm not that bad. Really? Need I remind you that on the day I gave you Yamato, you also freaked out about Aki having a date? Yeah, see, his boobas were very much present. His gigantic honkers. He's too young to be dating. Face it, man, you're a bit of a paranoid obsessive control freak when it comes to your brother. What? No, I'm not. And also, you're in denial. I'm not that bad. Hey, it's not like it's all bad. It just shows you care. Just loosen the strings a little bit. Easy for you to say. It's not you that has to worry about someone's well-being at almost every waking hour of the day when you're not together. Seriously? I have a teenage rebellious baby sister that lives apart from me. Point taken. I get out of the bed, wincing when I feel another sudden flash of pain emanating from my nether region. Are you sure you're okay? See what I mean? See what I mean? His booba. You sure you're okay? Yeah, I'll live. It just caught me by surprise earlier, that's all. Sorry. For what? I took things too fast. I only plan on giving you oral, but I got too carried away and was even rough on you. I crossed a line, and I'm sorry. I take a deep breath. For some reason, having Shoichi freaking out in front of me calms me down immensely. And I probably shouldn't tell him that because it might upset him. No, you didn't. You're fine. But I pressured you into it. You wouldn't have agreed if I didn't. I walk up to him, wrapping my hand around his muzzle and forcing it shut. Shoichi's eyes immediately go wide and he pulls away from me. Hey, watch it. What do you think you're doing? Keeping you from running your mouth. There are nicer ways to go about that. You could have made me bite my tongue. Oh yeah, isn't that the same thing I did to Haruki last week? Oops. Look, I'll be honest. I was really nervous last night, and yeah, you pushing me is a big part of why I went with it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad thing. At least I don't feel like it was. I don't feel disrespected or taken advantage of or anything, really. In fact, now that it's happened, I feel a lot more comfortable around you because, hey, what else can we do that we haven't already? I guess that's a point. I mean, you're standing in front of me in just your underwear, and I'm totally fine with it. Before I would feel uncomfortable, even if you had a shirt on. Is that why you're okay with being naked in front of me? The fucking NPC stare. He's got the fucking NPC stare. Hang on. Hang on. You're gonna love this. Y'all are gonna love this. Okay, why is there still one eyeball? Go away, eyeball. Ah. But seriously, it's the fucking stare. Like, look at this. Just that stare. That is a very blank stare. I look down at myself and remember that I didn't put any clothes on yet. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Did you turn around while I put some clothes on? Where's my underwear? Wow, 2 whole minutes without freaking out. That's a new record, actually. Aww. Shoichi, can you do us a favor? Can you do us a favor, Shoichi, please? Take the shirt off. The kitchen is completely taken over by the smell of toasted bread. Once Shoichi and I both got dressed, we walked downstairs so we could have breakfast. Moving around is a little bit harder than I expected right now. Every time I wince, Shoichi nearly lunges at me with worry. Which of course means I've been masking them so he won't be doing that. I love the guy, but he fusses over every little thing, and that's just beyond annoying. Platonically, of course. I think. So, I'm trying to think of something to talk about, but it's proving unexpectedly hard. Other than when he tries to jump to my aid, we've barely said 2 words to each other. Even small talk would be better than nothing right now. Yeah? Ugh, why is he being so jumpy? It's hard to be calm and relaxed around someone who acted like a child awaiting punishment. Come on, Shoichi, I already said everything's fine. Stop looking so guilty. I can't help it. It's been an hour since I said things were fine. Why are you still freaking out? We are fine. Stop being so weird about it. You're making it really hard for me to act like it's not a big deal. I just think... Ugh. I groaned, placing the plate with the 2 sandwiches I was preparing down on the counter with a loud clanking sound. Oh my god, you're so annoying sometimes. Forgive me if I have a conscience. Urge to strangle. Growing! Look, I'm only going to say this one more time. You and I are fine. I don't need or want any apologies. I don't feel slighted or disrespected. We are fine. Now sit down, shut up, and eat. Yes, sir! He quickly does as I say, pulling a chair and grabbing one of the sandwiches from the plate. Shoichi has toasted bread, cheese, egg, fried chicken katsu, and spicy pickled cabbage. Okay, I want to read that. The creator of this FEN coming up with Shoichi. I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious honkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some dabahonkaros. Massive dahunka blankaloos. Big ol' tonhung I can't even say it with a straight face. I can't say it with a straight face. And spicy pickled cabbage. I avoid placing the devil's shredded paper on mine, though. That stuff has a nasty taste and texture. Instead, I just took a few slices of ham to put in its place. Shoichi munches on his food with the real bummed-out look on his face. I know that look. It's the I want to say something but shouldn't face. It's amazing. Even when he's being completely silent, he somehow still finds a way to annoy me. Alright, fine. Out with it. Out with what? Oh, please, you're a terrible secret keeper. You look like a pissed-off customer when he's about to leave a negative review on Yelp without saying anything to the staff. Where the hell are you getting these examples? From the internet, but that's not the point. Spill. I just feel bad about yesterday. But why? I already told you so many times that we are fine. Why do you insist on choosing to be annoyed? It's not about that. I mean, I dumped a lot of my issues on your plate last night, and then in an effort to get things back on track, I became forceful. As soon as I finished and after I woke up the first time, I started thinking more clearly. My mind was in a really bad place last time, and I wasn't thinking straight, even before I got, horny. I was looking for a different word to say. No reason to. We have the actual word. Carry on. Look, even if you're fine with it, I'm not. I didn't want to go that far. I wanted our first time to be more special. I wanted to treat you right, to show you how much you mean to me before we finally made love. Made love? Wow, I guess he's one of those guys. So is that what this is about? You think our first time was bad? Not bad. I never said that word. It was really good for me. I even got carried away during it because you were just so... Look, my point is, I built this up inside my head for so long, and it wasn't what I expected. For one, in this scenario I pictured in my head, I didn't pressure you into it, much less leave you crippled the morning after. First of all, I'm not crippled. Second of all, you're barely making any sense. Shoichi grumbles, looking away from me with a frown. How is it that the dude can get laid and come out of it even moodier than he was before? I mean, I'm the one who wound up with a sore ass, so why is he complaining? At least it's easy for me to keep a clear head when he's being so ridiculous. How can I put this? I'm so focused trying to calm him down that I don't have the energy to freak out myself. Look, having expectations is all fine and good, but if you spend months or years planning something to the finest detail, chances are reality won't be able to measure up. That's just asking to be disappointed. I know, I just think you deserved more. Listen, big guy, I already told you I'm fine. Were things a little rushed there? Definitely. I can't disagree with that, but I don't regret anything. Well, maybe I regret not taking longer to stretch a little bit. Oh, wow! Right. I got to spend the night with you. I'm surprisingly relaxed about it, and I don't feel nearly as self-conscious as I thought I would. Besides, I'm so panicky that you probably wouldn't have been able to get me to do it without some kind of coercion. That just sounds dangerous. If I really didn't want it, I would have refused. Not that the thought didn't cross my mind at the time, but hey, he doesn't need to know that. And I'll die before I admit this to him, but last night actually felt really good. I'm not sure if it was worth being in pain the day after, but with that stuff hopefully dealt with, are you good? I guess. Uh-oh, that wasn't a happy I guess. Talk to me. I already talked to you about it last night. You mean the thing about your dad? The very same. I thought you said you didn't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to, but I kind of feel like I have to. I've had a lot of pressure put on me by him my whole life. I know he's trying to push me into a career he thinks will be good for me, but I can't help but feel it's not really me. I mean, sure, I'd probably be very good at a management job. I'm organized, good with computers, prompt, punctual. Those are all things he drilled into me over the years. He always said he wanted me to join some kind of company and make my way to the board of directors with time. Isn't that pretty much your dad's career path? Yup, he wants me to follow in his footsteps hardcore. And don't get me wrong, his plans are good. Most of what he says makes sense. I could have a really good, comfortable life if I just went with what he decided for me. I've told myself over the years that I was fine with it, but now that I've finally run out of time and have to give up volleyball like I promised, I feel so conflicted. I didn't want to think Wow! Yeah, that's allowed. I didn't think I loved it so much, you. It honestly scares me to realize just how hard in denial I was all these years. I don't want to give it up, no matter what he says. I mean, I always thought you were really in denial, but you constantly disagreed with me on that, so I eventually decided to keep my mouth shut. Sorry about that. I guess you really did know best. We're gonna leave off here tonight. La, 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 la. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.